Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish, they're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All right, that wasn't everybody in our squares. We got the whole break punch square thing going on. And actually, as I'm doing that, I'm doing the whole Pitch Perfect thing when they're trying to get ready to start doing rehearsals. Everybody, how you doing tonight?
We're doing. How are you?
All right. Hey, I've been drinking soda all day. I went through 6 Mountain Dews, so I'm pumped. And
when you saw you were caffeinated, I went, "Do I want to show up or not?" So I'm not going to be able to get a word in edgewise.
Nope. Actually, I was going to go to you first. No, and nope means nope. Then not that you're not going to get a word in edgewise. It's nope, you will. I was going to go to you first. Rob Davis, tell us, sir, what do you have on your drawing board tonight?
Well, I have a blank page at the moment.
What about the one to the left of it?
Well, that's our secret project,
which I'm inking, by the way, today.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, you know what it is right off the bat, right?
Yeah, you should be able to figure it out from this.
I know.
Very nice.
I'll make one of those pages today as we speak.
And I actually
uploaded that one yesterday, I think it was. Yeah.
As I was zooming in, I was I'm going like this. I was like, oh, I hope my wife isn't watching. For Valentine's Day, she gave me reader glasses because my eyes are going to contacts.
You mean like these?
So if she sees me going like this, she'll be like, put on the glasses. All right. So since Martin is drinking, we'll go to Barb next. Barb, how you doing?
Good.
Cool. And tell us what is behind you tonight. You have two lovely posters.
Those are my Divinity posters. I got a show coming up this weekend.
Well, I know that, but we want the audience to know.
Oh, our audience wants to know. This is my book, Divinity, which I just got done laying the flats for issue 4 this morning. So I jumped on the As Cannot Be Named project this afternoon. And once I get those 2 of those pages inked up, I'll jump on and do the contours on the colors on Divinity. And Non-Silverline, I am working on a Wizard of Oz project. So,
Ooh, very nice.
yeah.
And Martin, how you doing tonight?
We're doing, yeah,
Cool.
we're surviving up here in the Great White North. We had a little bit of a frosty week last week, but then it's warming up again. But before that, it was really warm, so we're having a very bizarre
70
winter.
degrees here today.
Huh.
That's unreal. Yeah, it was in the mid 50s, like almost 60 here in Wisconsin today.
Yeah, and that's very unusual this time of year for both of us. So
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the buds are the trees are all going to
nice.
bud out early. That's what's
So
going to happen.
there's a comic book villainess named El Nino, right? Or El Nina?
Well, there should be.
There should be, definitely.
El Nina, since we're talking about villains right tonight, right?
Well, El Nina is the little one, and El Nino
okay.
is the larger, is the big
Okay,
one.
so it's not male or female. In
No,
this particular
no.
case.
Oh,
Right.
I thought El Nino was male. No?
Well, that's what I thought
it's
too.
not
but
masculine?
apparently- I mean, somebody look it up on Google, but yeah.
From what I understand, are you doing the comments, Martin? From what
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand, that every few years there's El Nino, which is a more stronger
Bigger.
system than El Nina, which is a weaker system.
Yeah, but I thought
Hey,
in
Pops.
Spanish it was, hey, Pops. I thought it was the Nino was male and the Nina was female, but I don't ask me. I didn't even take Spanish in high school. So
I didn't either.
I like that color better. You're not so green.
And
John.
actually, I don't know what happened. I kept getting the whole USB in and out noise. And so, because I am the tech guy, backup camera. So I unplugged that one, put this one in, and but my movements are kind of jerky. No comments on me being a jerk.
You're like a 70s acid trip. Some trails behind you.
I like that. I'm going to go play with my settings and see if I could speed this up a little bit. But everybody, tonight, everybody, my name, John, creator of Sniper and Rook. I realized today they're going to be 25 years old this year.
Wow.
I'm turning 51, so my kids have been with me half my life. So the Sniper and the Rook, they were here with me first. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And Ripper and all kinds of other cool things. So tonight we are going to be talking about, villainesses. We've had talks before about heroes, what makes a good hero, how do you create a good hero, what are some, to steal Barb's word earlier when we were talking before the show about tropes, what were some to avoid with heroes. But tonight we want to talk about the ladies, all the single ladies, and what goes into creating a good Rouch is like, oh my God, take this kid off his Adderall. Okay. We're going to talk about what goes into making a quality female villain versus what are some of those overused stereotypical tropes that really should just kind of be put away for a while because they've been so overdone. And with that being said, Barb, you had said that you kind of like to lead off some of these.
I do.
I'd love to hear.
Well, let's let the female membership here get on the board. Yeah.
Why does the really bad cartoon villainesses look like Greta Garbo? I want to know that. What's with the eyebrows?
I want to be alone.
Yes, the eyebrows and the sultry look and the dark colors. Why always that? That's what I want to start out with.
Probably dates back to the silent film era.
The big, huge arched eyebrows.
Yeah, where a lot of it was done with since it had no sound. You had to do everything with the image, so
they exaggerated a lot.
Yeah, they exaggerated a lot. It was and a stage makeup, and it also goes back to the melodramas of the 1800s, where
the earliest
Snidely Whiplash had his long mustache that he twisted, and the bad women always had those really arched eyebrows. Yeah.
Well, the earliest villainesses would have been here. Whoops, hang on.
Come on.
I'm pushing wrong.
Yeah, there we
The
go.
evil queens. That goes way back to medieval times and beyond. Would be the evil queen. So that's the very first trope that you run across, and these are just some nifty little. And here again, look at the eyebrows here. What is this?
Yeah,
And the eyebrows there.
I mean, I really thought she chewed the scenery really well in that particular show. I liked her portrayal in that, but yeah, it's a trope.
For Hela?
That's
the one you're talking about, the one in the middle.
Yeah, Thor. Was that Kate Blanchett?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that costume was amazing, and that headpiece. Oh my God! I mean, like she was not a badly modified comic book version of herself. She was off the page, straight off the page. Yes. It was very impressive.
And she was incredible in the part.
She was incredible.
Yeah.
But again,
who's in the bottom right?
That is from what's that TV show?
Was that Once Upon a Time?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I thought it might have been. Her real name is Lana something or other. I may or may not have had a little bit of a crush on her while that show was on. I cannot.
May or may not. Which was it?
Oh, definitely. Okay, the list of people I have crushes on is was about this big, but now that I'm married, no more.
And of course, Snow White was one of the original evil queens. And Cinderella, not Cinderella, Snow White here too. This is another trope that we see very often. It's the manipulative, greedy biatch trope, where they're after power and money, and that's all they care about. So they have very little compassion, and we don't see them as three-dimensional characters. They're only after their power or money.
So really no substance.
No substance.
Wanting those two.
Yeah.
And again with the eyebrows.
Look at this one here.
So I wonder if that's partly to signify like the ultimate worldly woman, right?
I don't know.
Like no, or very few, if any, redeeming qualities.
Hard to say.
That might be going a little bit extreme, but
the third trope I see a lot is the psycho chick trope.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got obviously Harley Quinn is right at the top of our psycho trope, and then we've got Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter. Obviously, she looks very psycho. Look at that.
Well, that's Helena Bonham Carter. That's the kind of character she plays.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yes. To the nth degree.
I remember her from Fight Club.
And we also have Dolores Umbridge, also from Harry Potter, and one who crosses over into a subtrope, which is the psycho chick Sharon Stone played in A Fatal Attraction, but she's also the femme fatale. So that's the subtrope is femme fatale.
So could you define femme fatale for us?
Somebody who uses their sexuality to get what they want. Okay.
Cherchez la femme.
Yeah. Yes. Another trope, the wicked witch. Why is it there are the women who are wicked witches are always ugly, and the men who are warlocks are usually handsome?
Probably because the concept of a witch. Well,
not always, but usually.
Yeah.
Going back to Once Upon a Time, Lana in the bottom corner.
Yep.
She kind of falls into both categories because she had witch-like powers, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she did.
She was a queen.
And she was gorgeous. So I guess that might be one that sidesteps it, but you're absolutely right. Usually if you think witch, very not attractive.
The three crones in Hamlet. Yeah, they were ugly. All right, my last trope is the most realistic as far as I'm concerned. These are the most well-rounded villainesses. And this would be the sympathetic lost lamb trope, where we have Catwoman. She's conflicted. She's more well-rounded because we can sympathize with her a lot. The same goes with Scarlet Witch. She's good, then she's bad, then she feels bad about being bad, so then she flips back to the good. She's conflicted all the time about it. And while many people might think that Kathy Bates was one-dimensional, I don't think so. I can understand her. She was lonely. Oh God, no, I can't remember the name of the movie.
Misery,
thank you.
And I think Anthrax did a song about her, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I mean, she was lonely. She was obsessed with this. I mean, how many of us get obsessed with a celebrity? You know, I can actually kind of sympathize with her. She did a lot of evil shit, but oops, I'm sorry.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And does anybody know what these two down here are? Two little old ladies.
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Yes!
I don't remember the ladies'
Ding,
names,
I've
but
heard
yes,
of that.
that's what it's from.
Ding, 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 ding.
What a great play and movie. Cary Grant plays the. I don't know. I don't remember how he's related
Their nephew.
to them. A nephew or
Yeah. These are his
and
elderly
It's
aunts.
a madcap, funny as heck, but it's about murder.
Yeah. These two lovely little old ladies. Oh dear, have a cup of tea. You know,
With arsenic.
arsenic in it. Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
These four encapsulate to me a more sympathetic villainesses, where they don't come across as one-sided or evil. They've got more complexity behind their personas than just "I want to kill you." You know. So those are my tropes. So we can touch on some of those.
Going with the Catwoman, I love the fact that you had Michelle Pfeiffer in there. Because there's been so many different iterations of Catwoman, with so many retellings of origins and everything. Going along with the sympathetic route that, as you had placed her here, her in Batman Returns, absolutely, her version fits that perfectly, because
the Anne Hathaway version in the Nolan series of Bat films was also.
Was it? I haven't seen that one yet. Actually,
it's worth seeing. I don't think she's. I like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman a little better. I thought she was a little more. You knew more about her. You understood her more.
They gave her more screen time before she became Catwoman. Is that maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you saw how she became Catwoman.
Yeah.
So and why?
By all the cats.
Well,
after she got thrown out by Max Schreck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she had motivations, and it made the story made sense.
She has two of my favorite scenes in that movie. Probably the number one, which is my number two, the number one of most men would be when she's on top of Batman and licks his face. That was a defining moment for all teenage boys.
Yeah, that's does nothing for me.
I said teenage boys. Rob, you were teenage then.
I was a teenage boy. That wouldn't have turned me on either.
But my favorite with her was after the transformation, when she was back in her bedroom and she had that neon sign that said "Hello there." Yeah, and she did like one smash, and changed to "Hell here." I was like, that was cool. That move, just the whole lighting was fantastic.
That's the kind of stuff that Tim Burton is really good at. I wish he was good at putting it all together in a better story, but that's a discussion for a different time.
Well, at least it wasn't Batman and Robin. So
anything that wasn't Batman and Robin is, by comparison, is going to be better.
Scarlet Witch is my son's favorite comic book character, favorite Marvel character. Oh yeah, he calls her Mommy Wanda. Like, he loves Scarlet Witch. And like the flip flopping between evil, not evil, You know, if you watched WandaVision,
Does
was she
he
evil? Was she not?
watch?
What's that?
Become enamored of the character from the comics or from the Marvel universe?
All MCU. Yeah, all MCU.
Okay, yeah. So nothing from the comic books.
No.
Yeah, because that's a whole different deal.
Yeah, and he won't let me tell him about comic book stuff because he says he doesn't want spoilers.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
dude, this was written 40 years ago. But you know, I guess the spoiler warning.
He doesn't want it spoiled for him. Okay, well that's cool.
Yeah. So Barb, I like the tropes. I like the categories, and you provided wonderful examples. Thank you.
Well,
my brain is not completely going. There we go. So Anthrax, one of the greatest heavy metal bands ever, has a song called "Misery Loves Company." And
really?
Yep. And the chorus, I want you to write for me and only me a really extra special story. Make it mine, every line. Don't make me sorry. It's what I want. It's what I want. And I'll tell you what, you know me, I could be a very, very vicious critic. So that's definitely got to be an homage.
Oh my God, that is awesome. Yeah,
they've also done songs about Judge Dredd. You know, and what that song is called, "I Am the Law." You know, so yeah, Anthrax has a lot of love for comic books and movies and such. So yep, there's definitely that. I think that was on their album Euphoria, something.
Got me. I'm not much of a metal fan.
This song's about the 1987 psychological horror film Misery. Yes. So cool.
Yes. And I mean, while the Kathy Bates character can also edge over into the psycho chick territory, she's also understandable, you know. Whereas I feel very little connection with Harley Quinn because she's just flat out crazy, you know. I don't find a whole lot of connection to her.
Well, Harley Quinn kind of becomes more soft. And they then one upped her with the new girl Punchline. So the new girl Punchline, she's like, if you thought Harley Quinn was demented, Punchline then goes even further than Harley Quinn. So I mean, I don't know. They kind of softened Harley Quinn over time. They didn't make her as nuts.
I'm not reading DC stuff these days.
Yeah. So,
but I saw a recent double-page spread about like the Bat family. You know, and Harley was actually represented in there. Yeah, so really? I don't know how much
the Bat family.
Well, I don't know how much they're doing with her as anti-hero, but it kind of sounds that way. That, like you said, they're softening her up. That seems to happen actually, and we could even talk about that with villains and villainesses. You know, if they do hit a level, when they start off bad, if they become popular, it seems like a lot of bad people start getting written more anti-hero or more with a good heart.
The redemption arc is they want to put them through a redemption arc if they start to become popular. That's what they did with Loki. You know, he was the bad guy, but all of her fangirls fell in love with him. So they did a redemption arc.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Yep.
Loki's supposed to be the devil, so.
And they do that with a lot of the women.
He's the trickster. That's not the devil. That's a different. Yeah.
The 90s, when Venom Lethal Protector came out, I'm like, Lethal Protector, really? Venom was cool, or you know, the original Venom. You know, before they totally made him go off the deep end. I liked that idea. But then they made him. You know, later on he was Flash Thompson too. Who else did they quote unquote redeem? So, Deadpool. Love Deadpool. Always loved Deadpool. Mm-hmm. Love Rob Liefeld. Always loved his art. Deadpool was an amazing creation, and like he was just like a badass killer. And then they even started making him nice. It's like
Dr. Octopus.
I cannot wait for the third
Spider-Man films.
What's that?
Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Man film.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
Doc Ock at the end of that. What was it? Spider-Man 3.
No Way Home.
No. Well,
no. You're talking Spider-Man 2.
I'm talking about the original where he was
Tobey Maguire
at the end. I mean, so yeah, that's with The first
guy from
Sony
Indiana Jones.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Alfred Molina.
Molina. Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, he was also in No Way Home, though. He reprised his character, which I have not seen that yet, so I don't know how
he was
what that was all about. I can only imagine he was great in the other one.
Barb, if we could go back one, and we're going to talk about Shigo. I love Shigo. That's the one that I picked. Everybody out there, and my kid was stoked because he loved Shigo too.
Well, there's that eyebrow again. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we were talking about Venom, Harley, Venom, Deadpool, Beauty and the Beast was brought up about people who changed.
The redemption arc. That's what Beauty and the Beast is all about.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, it's on the tip of my brain. All right, talks amongst yourselves.
Tip of your
brain. It was a good one too. It was a good one too. Been a long day.
Why don't we go on to Shigo then?
Your caffeine is worn off.
Yeah. What's that?
Why do you like Shigo?
Oh, that's it. Okay, let me stop. We'll go to Shigo in a second. So it's because of the Doc Ock conversation, and this is something I've been thinking about all week about the tropes you fall into. Females that wind up taking over somebody else's identity or taking over and replacing them instead of being a new character. There was a female Doc Ock, at least one or two. And it's a pale comparison. I was actually looking at Legos in Target the other day, and they have Spidey and a little Spidey mobile with fighting the female Doc Ock. And I'm just like,
man.
So whenever somebody steps into somebody else's origin, especially if it's female stepping into a male origin, I almost kind of feel like they're getting cheated because they're not being really given their own identity. They're taking over something else. And yes, it happens when men take over men's, costumes and uniforms and stuff too. Just like when Ben Reilly came back, the one true original real Spider-Man, and became Scarlet Spider. No. To me, Riley's the one. But yeah, so the female Doc Ock was the one there. What Shigo? Shigo from Kim Possible. Kim Possible is fantastic. My kid and I loved watching this together.
My wife's favorite cartoon character.
It oh my god! And actually, the Kim Possible communicator noise is actually on my cell phone. That's my kid's ringtone. It's kind of scary because a couple times I've been in stores and I hear my phone go off and I'm looking. I'm like, John's not calling or texting. When somebody else has this Kim Possible tone, it's like, oh my god, there's another one of us. This is cool. Shigo. What I love about Shigo, and this is one of the things I think, avoid some of the tropes, is she is a little bit sympathetic. The people in the audience can connect to her, especially to me as an adult, because she works with Dr. Draken. She is his henchwoman. Draken's an idiot. He's not very
And she's
bright.
not. And she's not.
She is smart. She is the smarter of the two. She is the more competent of the two. She is the more able of the two. Similarly, Sniper and Rook. Sniper even knows Rook's better than him. So Shigo kind of like puts up with Draken in a way that you could tell that she's just so like irritated with him all the time. It's like, okay, whatever, because you
seem to think that's why she's bad, is because she's so irritated at him all the time. That's why she's angry. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's all about having to deal with him.
And she just likes being evil. She likes being a bad guy. In female form, I don't want to say bad girl because that's a whole different genre, but she likes being a villainous. She likes fighting. She likes being bad. That's just who she is. But we could connect to her because we all have worked with or know people who are stupid, and we're like, okay, really, I'm working for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sure. And Martin, I want to go to you next because I have a perfect segue. Okay, so when they had, when I saw Shigo and the way that she related to Draken being like the leader, but it's like how he's not very smart. That's very similar to how I saw Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe, one of my all-time favorite things. In the comic book, Cobra Commander, badass. Okay. In the cartoons, Cobra Commander was a whiny little brat. He was like, "I will pay for your insolence," and he always whined and complained and yelled retreat. I mean, he was a little wussy. But Martin, is there anything that you want to talk about along any of those lines?
Well, obviously there's Baroness, right? So, I mean, she's probably a standout character on the Cobra side, and she's pretty much the brains of the outfit, I would think. So, I don't know. She sticks out. That's all I got.
We're gonna touch on our own Silverline villainous, and then we'll move. Well, I'll get out of this, and we can just chat.
Cool.
So this is Widowmaker.
Maker.
Yeah, Widowmaker. She is. These are my inks on Widowmaker. This is the character design for Widowmaker, and what she carries. This her little whip here. This is what the whip is, and it's more like a cat of nine tails without the nine. But it's wicked. It's got all these sharp little,
like a mace.
It is. It's kind of. It's got these little razor blades on the end of it, so you don't want to get.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And she
I
runs.
don't want to meet her.
She runs the human trafficking ring in Cat and Mouse, and I think she also. I mean, and this is like classic villainous. She's got one eye is a jewel.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I always
actually, that's something that hasn't been. I don't think it's addressed in the comic. It doesn't really. So is the eye just happens to be a jewel, or does it do anything, or is it just
it's an emerald.
An emerald.
She's an emerald in for an iris. I don't know what happened to her eye. You'll have to ask Roland. But right, one eye is a emerald in her eye.
So now her name is the Widowmaker, and I think it finally struck me the symbol, which to me is a little bit oddly placed. Is that symbolic of a black widow? The right on her pelvis there.
Yeah, that's a design of a black widow on.
Okay, so all right, so like
she.
Kind of
I was trying to figure out what that was for the longest time, and then just before we started the show tonight, I was like, "Hang on a second."
She does not like men. She feels that they are the inferior race, and that she makes widows by killing men. So she doesn't like the fact that men think they rule the world,
and so she kills them.
Yeah,
that would technically be a hate crime.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most crimes are.
Now I'm trying to figure out if she's kind of, she seems to be a hybrid between a black widow and a scorpion, right? Is that kind of correct?
Well, yeah, she's got a whip. The whip kind of acts as a tail. Yeah, that's interesting. That's her sting or her bite.
So somebody.
And are you thinking about the arm and leg armor with the boots?
Yeah. But somebody also told me that her hair, her ponytail, the way it was shaped, is supposed to represent the scorpion tail.
Huh. She does have a barb at the end.
Yeah. So
there you
go. Can't see that. You can't see that here, but when she wears it in a braid, I believe. Yeah, there's a scorpion. Yes.
So this is a scorpion chair of some kind. Then I guess they go through some sort of initiation ritual in this
scorpion chair.
In the scorpion chair, so she has some symbology that's scorpion related. So yeah, I can't remember who told me that her ponytail is supposed to have a scorpion, feel like a scorpion tail.
Yeah, I think I have a couple of pictures of her with a braid, and at the end of the braid, it's got like this this barb that she's got braided into her braid. All right, we're back. Take it, John.
I see like the pot. You're like, take it, John. All right, so if we're gonna,
Here's Johnny.
So are you going for like the Jack Nicholson version or the Ed McMahon?
Either
So
one.
what do you think makes the perfect villainess?
So for me, it's somebody that, you know, like you said, avoids the tropes, or if you start with it, it turns it on its head, where you think you know where they're going with it, but you don't. I kind of told the Sniper and Rook art team in our chat just a minute ago. I'm going to drop a sneak peek. Barb, I sent a picture through on our Wednesday Wham chat. If you could throw that up, I just want to give a shout out to penciler, inker, and then colorist we'll talk about next time. Because Sniper and Rook Area 51, number 2, is well on its way for completion. And there will be a villainous new to the Sniper and Rook / Silverline universe that will be showing up starting in this issue. And the splash page is gorgeous.
Somebody's dog is having it.
That's my dog. He's so excited. Bear's like, come on, show the pic already. There we go.
I had to get it downloaded first.
This is the splash page to what will be our Sniper and Rook Area 51 number 2. It is beautifully penciled by Thomas Hedgeland II, and it is beautifully inked by Matthew Seaborn. They are doing the art chores for the remainder of the series. The first artist who did the first issue was able to commit to one issue, and these young gentlemen who are amazingly talented
stepped up.
It's an honor to work with them. And so this is the splash page, and we can take it down now because I just want to kind of give people a little bit of a taste, whet the appetite. There will be a villainess in there, and Barb, you know, I was thinking of you because she is going to fall into one or more of the tropes that you had, but I hope that what I do with her and how I try to flip the script will make you proud. So
make her more complex than just a two-dimensional character.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. So, you know, to me, any good villainess, it should be somebody that you can relate to on some level. I think that any well-written character, villainess is included, you should be able to understand why they do what their
motivation is. Yeah,
exactly. Even if you vehemently, completely disagree with it, and you know, nutcase and wrong, you know, but you're like, okay, I understand how you're nuts, like a Harley Quinn or something, you know. And when we were talking Harley earlier, I think that we kind of really even need to separate it from like movie Harley Quinn from Batman animated series Harley Quinn, because the two are definitely different takes, different characters with the same name, truly. But you know what goes into it. I think because it's a visual medium, you know, attractiveness usually plays a role. So when you were talking about the ugly witches, you know, I don't think really ugly characters are going to sell a cover, you know, the way that an attractive character would in mass. And you have the same thing with males. But, you know, it does need to be well-rounded with a solid, whoever's writing the character really needs to solidly know who it is, the motivations, be able to articulate that to the audience in subtleties. You know, don't tell, show. Give the reader the opportunity to experience and to learn who this is, as opposed to basically doing all the expository in one box and like, boom, now you know everything, because you don't really get vested that way.
Info dump. The info dumps are no fun.
Yeah, no info dump, please. Info dumps are wonderful when we had like the handbook to the Marvel Universe, when it was a catch-all. It was an encyclopedia, just for reference, but not for introducing. No, I agree. I like villainesses that are not necessarily connected to the heroes. There are way too many I've seen out there that are, cousins, brothers, sisters, daughter, or, they have some reason to hate the hero because of a connection, a legacy connection, a personal connection, a vengeful, oh my God, you broke up with me, so I'm going to totally get you. When my Ripper series comes out, there is a villainess in there too. I'm not saying a main villainess, but there is a villainess in there too, who, Barb, you will be proud, because her motivations are completely not what you're going to think. So yeah, I'm flipping the script on that one too.
I like the secret villainesses. The ones
where you don't know what it is.
The meek, the mild, and then at the end of the movie, all of a sudden, they're revealed as the mastermind behind the whole thing because they've been wronged in some way.
So kind of
suddenly the knife comes out.
So who would fall into that category?
If we could go to men for that, because I was going to throw an example on that one. Kevin Spacey and The Usual Suspects is exactly what you just described there. Kaiser Sose. Yep. Yeah, and that was an amazing surprise, shock ending. That was fantastic.
Do you know what? I figured that movie out.
Did you?
Because I watched it with the sound off.
Oh.
So I was watching his mannerisms as the character, and partway through the movie, I realized that they were cutting back and forth, right? And then I was watching the mannerisms that he was giving, and I went, "Oh, he did it."
Ooh.
And then, sure enough, at the end of the movie,
that's good acting.
I was like,
he gives it away that way.
Okay, so
yeah, that's good acting.
Yeah, so I picked up on the fact that he gave it away in his mannerisms, and it was super subtle. But if you were watching him closely, you saw how he was lying, and you could see that he was lying. It was like, wow, okay,
that's damn good acting.
Oh, yeah. Very good acting.
Agatha Christie was a master at that.
Who was?
Agatha Christie was a master at the subtle, the hidden villain or villainous.
Right. Okay. So
there was usually some motivation that was either hidden and exposed. It wasn't exposed openly. It was kind of off to the side. You didn't catch it. A lot of times she would throw that stuff in. When you're reading Agatha Christie, she's usually fair. Not always, but she's usually fair. The clues are there, but you really have to pay attention to what she's doing because she's incredible at that.
Yeah, we love the Agatha Christie movies because we're always guessing right up to the last minute.
Oh yeah.
So here's a question: Have we actually defined what a villainess is? We've been talking about them, but have we defined what makes a villainess a villainess?
Non-ethical criminal.
Ooh, define ethics. Gray area.
Gray area.
Well, it depends. Do you believe in objective truth or not?
Depends on your definition of truth.
But that's going to veer into a whole different place.
Well, in any good villain or villainess, they don't think they're the bad guy.
They're the hero of their own story.
They're the hero of their own story.
Absolutely. So they're a narcissist.
So, well, yeah.
Often. Narcissist,
sometimes,
sociopath. Yeah. I think I shared this on a previous episode.
Sometimes they're broken.
Of Wednesday Wham.
Catwoman was broken, and but not always. I mean, Cruella de Vil isn't broken. She's just nasty.
Now, did you watch the Cruella movie?
No.
Okay, I haven't either. And
no interest.
Because that's a redemption arc.
Yeah.
So is all the Maleficent movies.
Yeah.
Those are redemption arcs.
And
more palatable to the fans.
That goes along with what I was saying I like about Shigo. She's just a bad girl. She likes being bad. There is no redemption arc with that.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn
that way. Jessica Rabbit, she's a personal favorite.
But she's not the villain. Villainous in
No.
that. She's
Bad girl.
Yeah,
She
she's a
played
bad
patty
yeah.
cake.
We were talking about
I
good
forgot
girl, bad girl. Yeah.
Hey, Martin, I have a question.
Yep.
You said that you were watching The Usual Suspects with like no sound.
Yeah.
Was that because it wasn't like dubbed in Canadian, or why? Why were you watching it with no sound?
Because everyone was asleep upstairs, and I didn't want them to hear me watching TV.
Okay, so you didn't even have like closed captioning on, though. You're just
No, I just
That's
was
cool.
flipping through channels with the sound off, and so I was like, everyone who keeps talking about this movie, what's the big deal? Like, I was trying to figure out like what, and so then I watched it, and I was just watched enough of it, and then I saw like this, and it was like right, I think it was about the 3/4 mark, somewhere in there. Then I watched about a 15-minute segment, and they were cutting back and forth between the ship and his telling of the story to the detective or whatever. So they kept cutting back and forth and then there was a mannerism that he did, and I went, oh, he did it. But yeah, I was watching it because everybody was in bed, and I didn't want the TV on to wake them up.
That's very kind. That's
But
good.
that's how I tell people to learn storytelling for comic books and for film, is to see how they set everything up. Turn the sound off and just watch how they set things up. As an artist, that's one of the best ways to learn storytelling.
Oh, cool.
Especially if it's a good director. Like I always pick Alfred Hitchcock as one. But that's
if you're going to be a
one of the
comic book
perfect ways
artist,
to learn.
Can you tell the story without the word balloons?
Exactly. You should be able to get the gist of what's going on without the word balloons. Sometimes they're instrumental in getting details, but you should be able to kind of tell what's going on even without them.
To go back to Martin's The Baroness, which went back to my G.I. Joe, I think one of the best comic books ever, G.I. Joe number 21, Silent Interlude. First appearance of Storm Shadow. We find out more about Snake Eyes. Scarlet's in there. All 22, 24 pages. No words. There's not a single word in the issue. And it's one of the most engaging.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the silent issue.
Yep, it's one of the most engaging comics. It was actually the first G.I. Joe comic I ever got. It was in one of the 3-packs with the strip covers like they used to do on the newsstand. And I wondered, I'm like, do G.I. Joe comics not have like dialogue? This is weird. I was in junior high at the time, so I just started collecting. I was like, oh, this is very strange. But yeah, it is honestly one of the best comics I've read. I love
that's a writer who understands the medium.
Yep.
Who can write to an artist to tell the story without a single word of dialogue, or even word.
G.I. Joe 21. It's called Silent Interlude.
Was that Larry Hama?
It was Larry Hama. Yep.
Yeah.
And Larry actually did. Okay. Yep, Larry did the layouts, and I think I want to say Ron Wagner did finishes, but don't hold me to that.
It's long enough ago. I didn't actually read the book, but I was aware of it, and there was a lot of talk about it when it happened, about how good it was. So
it was inked by Steve Leialoha.
Leialoha, yeah.
Anybody listed for pencils or finishes?
Oh yeah, pencilers was Larry Hama. Inkers was Steve Leialoha. Colorist was George Russos.
Okay.
So writer Larry Hama.
Yeah, and he did the layouts.
And Larry Hama wrote it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Granny Goodness.
Granny Goodness.
Yes, I was going to bring her up. You beat me to it.
Where's she from?
You beat me to it.
I know that name, Barb.
New Gods, Superman.
Yeah.
She was
Mr. Miracle.
She was one of Darkseid. She was Darkseid's like drill sergeant. She trained.
So
she
trained
the soldiers in his army.
Right.
She also trained Big Barda, and she was like the ultimate abusive granny.
She's a sadist at her basis. She's a sadist. She loves inflicting pain. It's
I would love to see Big Barda in the new DC universe. Whenever they relaunch, I would love to see a good take on Big Barda because I think she could be a fantastic character, like played by like I'm picturing like something like a Gina Carano or something.
I was going to say she'd be perfect
Gina
for
Carano.
that.
Yeah.
She'd be perfect for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
She'd be a perfect Big Barda.
Yeah.
They need to put her in platform shoes or
Oh,
something
right.
because she needs to be taller.
Oh, so actually a female series,
camera
which
work.
is-
I mean, look at Michael Keaton in Batman. I mean, give me a break. The guy's short, and they made him look huge. So yeah.
Martin, what did you have, sir?
Oh, I was just going to say that the female Furies is kind of like the conglomeration of all the character tropes stuck into a team. Because you got Big Barda, you got Lashina, you've got Mad Harriet, who's the witch. Lashina is, I guess, like I don't know what she would be. She'd be like the bad girl because she's got the whip or whatever. Stompa. I don't know where Stompa fits because Stompa's like she goes around stomping things. So she just sounds like an angry girl. Then there's Artemis. I'm not sure who she is, but yeah.
I always like Mystique too, because I'd love to be able to change into anybody in anything I wanted to be. You know, oh look, let's slip into the White House. Oh, suddenly I'm President Biden. You know.
Did you hear the most recent change to Nightcrawler's origin?
No.
Yeah, I heard some rumors about it, but I don't.
Yeah, so Nightcrawler's origin has now changed. That Mystique is not his mother. Mystique and Destiny have been a couple forever, and Mystique morphed into male form so they could procreate. Let's get it on. And Destiny, so Mystique as a dude got Destiny pregnant.
So Mystique is a parent, but is not the mother. Okay.
So I guess when the physicality changes, the whole biology changes.
Yeah, apparently, because zygotes, the whole thing. You know.
Yeah.
That's a little out there.
Only in comic books. We'll leave it in comic books.
Did we just give Martin an aneurysm?
Yes.
Do they even have those in Canada?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently, she can also produce zygotes. So
I think it's time in comic books that we just kind of wipe the slate clean and start with a whole new slate of characters. You know,
and that is what we're doing at Silverline.
Exactly. I think that's why I'm so supportive of Silverline. I think that's exactly what they're doing. What needs to be done. You need to just start create new characters. We beat Superman and Batman to death. Let them lay fallow for a little while. We can come back to them. But let's do something new. Definitely.
The ultimate
Let
femme
good
fatale.
be good and bad be bad.
Enchantress.
The Enchantress. Yeah.
She's the ultimate femme fatale. She tosses love potions or whatever or out like candy, and she's obsessed with Thor.
Mm-hmm. I remember actually one of the coolest issues of Thor I read was with Enchantress, and it came out years after, but it had in the book, the upper right-hand corner, it said an untold tale from the Secret Wars. And it was Thor and Enchantress kind of went off on their own for a little while during Secret Wars. So it was like, it was retconned into it. But I maybe Ron Friends drew it. I could be wrong. But I just thought that it was really, really cool because they did put that in there. And as those two were mightily powered, they're kind of like, okay, well, we got just like these other superhero-y people, but we're like gods. And so it was kind of cool. I like that. Barb, before I forget, because I had to look it up, you were talking about Agatha Christie does a good job. You could figure things out. Martin, you were talking about, Usual Suspects, how you were able to figure out Kaiser Soze. He did it. Have any of you seen the TV show? It's a series of miniseries on Netflix called Murderville. My wife introduced me to it.
Hadn't even heard of it.
Okay, you need to watch it. It is awesome. It's funny.
Murderville.
Murderville. So basically, they have celebrities that get dropped into this scene where they have no idea what's going on, and they're like
I've heard
police
about
trainee.
this. Yeah, I know what you're talking
And
about.
so like a lot of the stuff is made up, and then like they're a homicide detective trainee, and the guy who's training them is kind of a jerk, you know, and so like they're fumbling their way through. So like Conan O'Brien was one.
No script.
There's a football guy, I forget his name, but at the very end, they say, okay, so who did it out of these three? And they see if the celeb could actually figure out who really did it
and
and
actually solve the crime.
Because the pieces really are throughout. It is a lot of fun. It's funny.
Yeah. The person dropped in the middle of it has no idea what's going on at all. Yeah.
The first one Amy showed me at Christmas time, they had 3 celebrities dropped in at different points in the story. So like, I think it was like halfway through Maya Rudolph from Thank You. She was there, and then like right at the end, it was another Saturday Night Live guy, and it was crazy. But yeah, let's talk about this. Right now, we have a new fundraiser, Silverline
crowdfunder,
crowdfunder, and it is hosted on the fundmycomic.com website, and you could go to silverlinecomicscrowdfunder.com to find out more. What we currently have up there right now, we need your help. You know, please pledge. So this was opened up 12 days ago. It is Beyond the Stars 1 through 3 and Bear 1 and 2. We're looking for, you know, the number that we put out was 2,000 as of today. We've got 28%. Thank you to everybody who has pledged already. We cannot wait to get these books in your hands. We've got a ways to go though. So anybody who likes different types of genres, check this out. We have, you know, very family friendly. We have a little bit more action adult oriented, not like adult, but meaning like, you know, not kid coloring book stuff. So from a variety of Silverline personalities.
Science fiction, science fiction, space opera, more or less. Yeah.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Thank you. So yes, so please check out silverlinecomicscrowdfunder.com, which will take you to the fundmycomic.com website. Yes, I'm hitting alt tab to make sure I'm reading it right on the screen. And we really, really would appreciate your support for this newest fundraising.
Support the stuff we're doing. We're doing new stuff here at Silverline. We're not taking the old stuff and repackaging it necessarily. We're creating new characters, new stories. Both Bea and Beyond the Stars are of that ilk. They're new things. They're new ideas that we're putting out there for folks to take a look at. Hop over there. Take a look at what they have. There's also, like our previous crowdfunders, there's original art. There's all these different packages you can get. And if you want to just support us, you can do that too.
And there's a Kevin
over there.
There is a Kevin West cover for sale. I don't know if it's been sold yet or not, but I'm here to tell you that I had him do a pinup for Divinity 1. I loved it so much I bought it from my own crowdfunder.
I love Kevin West.
you gave
His art is amazing.
I did. I bought it from my own crowdfunder. I coughed up the money.
That is cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple of covers in there. I've got one for Bea, and I've got one for Beyond the Stars. Ooh. There's several covers in there. So, and I think Tommy is the one who inked my Beyond the Stars. Tommy Flormonte. He's the one who inked that one. I think they finally got it colored here just recently. It's gorgeous.
Tommy is great. Granted, he is no Empress of Inks.
No, nobody is.
Tommy is like the bicyclist of inks.
Yes. He's a speed racer of inks.
Go, speed racer. Go. Martin, do you have something you want to say?
Got to outrun those alligators.
I might have lost it. I was just going to say that Bear's a fantastic book. So, yeah.
It's kind of disguised as a kid's book, but there's more to it than that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's much, much deeper.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
So
I caught on to that first issue. I'm like, I know where he's going with this.
yeah,
And it's interesting. Yeah.
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 And so I think we could get this into something else I wanted to kind of piggyback on with Rob.
Uh-oh.
No, it's a good thing, my friend.
Okay.
Barb, you said you know where he's going with this. You're talking about the writer of that book?
Roland?
Roland.
I was going to say, who's the writer of that book?
Roland Man.
Roland Man, our head honcho, right?
Uh-huh.
And as you know,
Dr.
Rob was
Evil,
talking
yes,
about
yes.
supporting, the things we have up for crowdfunding. Please give these books a chance. Check them out. We're here creating them for you and ourselves. We're making the books that we would want to read, hoping that
Yes.
you will too.
Yes.
And one of the things that I always loved about Roland's premise with doing Silverline is books don't go up for funding until they're done or nearly done. This is not vaporware. It's not that you're never going to see it. You're going to give your $400 and you get nothing. This is if
We're ready to rock and roll.
If he puts it up and it closes,
there might be a cover that
Go to
needs some
press.
color or some ink.
Yep.
But
or if
everything's
there's
done.
something to put in there, like a thank you page, yes. But
Right. Usually the only thing we have left to do on these is a thank you page and get it to the printer.
Exactly. So please feel free to back us at silverlinecomicscrowdfunder.com. Take a chance on some books, get some back issues, and I think with that we probably should close out with tonight's bumper. Yes.
Yep. After we say.
Yep. So Barb, it's upside down. Thank you. All right, everybody. As always, make mine Silverline. Thank you for coming, everybody.
Hi, my name is Paul Kupperberg. Make mine Silverline.